before we get into it, everyone, make sure you subscribe down below and check out my portfolio up top. And if you need any images done here in my local area, just give me a call right over here as usual. So let's go ahead and dive in. Well, guys, some exciting rumors coming out. It seems to be as rumors of the Nikon Z8 is going to be releasing probably the third quarter of 2023, around October. Rumored specs include a 61.2 megapixel full frame sensor, pixel shift 8 to 16 image pixel shift to get 200 megapixel plus images. That's insane. Me personally, I don't really need 200 megapixel photos. It's going to be a 5-axis and body IS system that promises 5.5 stop stabilization, a native range of 64 to 25,600 of ISO, expandable to 32 or 102,400. 6K video and 12-bit raw video. Now we get this with the Nikon Z6s and Z7s anyways, with an upgrade that you send your camera in for $199 purchase. You'd have to send your camera into Nikon in order to get that update to 12-bit raw. But there's also new rumors going around that it's going to be a possible 14 or 16-bit raw, which is insane. It's going to be competing with the new Sony A7R V that's supposed to be releasing soon. The Sony can shoot, I believe, 8K at 24 megapixels, and I believe that the Z8 is going to mirror these capabilities as the A7 RV specs. What else we got here? Battery grip, we all know about that. And there's also rumors going around about a Nikon Z Mark III. Apparently these, we might not hear anything to roughly about May of this year, as opposed to the Nikon Z8 or Z6III. Apparently Nikon's having a lot of meetings right now, and we believe, a lot of people believe that it's in regards to these two new Z cameras about to drop and be released for the third quarter of October 2023. It is believed as of right now, in a new article that I'm reading, that cinematic quality video shooting with the Z8 with the ability to record 8K 12-bit at a frame rate of 60 frames per second. That's insane. I just set my Z6 Mark I, is at Nikon right now getting the ProRes RAW update at 12-bit RAW. It doesn't mention that it's going to be a 12-bit RAW. This could be the in-camera processing. Let's see. Z8 will have a very high fast burst mode that can capture up to 30 frames per second. The Z8 will have a clear, very high quality electronic viewfinder. It will have a resolution of 3.69 million pixels, and you will hardly notice any lag. Thanks to the 120 frames per second OLED screen, you can hardly see that it's on the screen. You can also set the viewfinder in a 60 Hz mode to save battery, which will come in handy. It's believed that the Nikon Z6 is is a competitor of its own version of the Nikon Z9, Canon EOS R5 Mark II, and the Sony A7R V. As a result, the price will be roughly about $4,500 to $5,000. Now, if I can afford something like this, I would definitely up my game to something like this, but there's no need for me to have a 61 megapixel camera. I believe that I shoot a lot in RAW, so having a 61 megapixel camera, the files are just going to be enormous and take up so much space on my hard drive, especially with my external hard drives and external SSD drives. I really don't want to be filling those up. High-res mode of the Nikon Z8 will have a new mode called high-res mode. The sensor can take several photos and add them together later. This way you can take up to 240 megapixel photos. That's insane. There are already a few other cameras that have this. For example, the Sony A7 IV also has a 240 megapixel mode. That is not surprising, by the way. The sensor in the Nikon Z8 would be almost as the same as the Sony, because Nikon uses a lot of full frame sensors that are actually produced and made by Sony. You can, as usual, with your old Z lenses with an F-mount, or you can still use your F-mount lenses on the Nikon Z with an attachment. This news is just insane. The Nikon Z6 Mark III rumors, once again, are being rumored to be dropped around the third quarter, like roughly about October-ish of 2023 of this year. And it's gonna, rumored specs on the Nikon Z Mark III, improved autofocus system. Taking all the best parts from the Z9 autofocus system will give the Z6 III a serious step up in autofocus performance. This is happening, and it's going to be one of the serious game changers about this camera for the Nikon Z6 III. Sensor wise, I believe the Nikon Z's and Z2 are 24.7 roughly, 25 megapixels. In the Z6 Mark III, you're looking at a 36 megapixel sensor. See, this would come in handy for me. I would be interested in going towards a Mark III of the Z6. I love the Z6s. 36 is perfect for me, I think. Also, shooting video with it is just awesome. And let's see, they're looking to push out 8K video with the Z6 III. This could be the point where the Z6 III becomes a very serious hybrid camera with the same resolution as the D810 had. The 36 megapixel is going to be great if it happens. This is obviously going to be one of the biggest changes the Z6 III has so far moving forward. With the upgraded Mark III Z6, unlimited internal recording. That's going to be a game changer as well. That means there's no limit on an internal recording time, thankfully. Thank God. That'd be awesome. I hope this camera is not too expensive, because I would like to get it down the road. As usual, Z6 with the Z cameras, ProRes RAW, definitely rumored, but I'm sure it's going to be a situation where you have to send your camera into Nikon for a fee to upgrade the camera. I don't believe they're going to be including it into the base price. This is going to be a separate option that you want to do and purchase down the line. Increased frame rates. 8K at 30 frames per second. 120 frames per second at 4K is going to be available, with very strong rumors of 6K resolution being there also, which is awesome. 6K, 8K, and 4K. I particularly like the 120 frames per second 4K. This is just going to be, this is good news for Nikon users. They're really stepping up their game in the full frame industry. This is just going to be amazing. I can't wait for these cameras to drop. Hopefully somewhere down the line I can go ahead and improve and save some money to get to another camera. If it were up to me between choosing one of these cameras, I'd be going for the Z6 II. I'm sorry, the Z6 III instead of the Z8. It's just more what I personally shoot. I'm shooting more video. I want to shoot ProRes RAW video. I also like the updated 36 megapixel sensor as opposed to the 24.7 sensor. So guys, there you have it, man. Nikon's got some exciting cameras and news coming out. These two cameras are going to make a big splash in 2023. Let me know what you guys are interested in. Which camera, which Nikon Z system works best for you, and why does it work best for you? I have a Nikon Z6. As I said, it's in the Nikon warehouse right now, being updated for the 12-bit ProRes RAW. And then also I have a Nikon Z7 II, what I'm shooting on right now, and I absolutely love both cameras. The Nikon Z, I usually shoot video, but since it's out being updated right now, I'm shooting video on the Z7 II. I usually use the Z7 II for really high detailed portraits and or mainly landscapes. I rather would shoot landscapes with my higher megapixel at 45 megapixel instead of shooting 24. So guys, let me know if you're interested in either one of these cameras. As usual, subscribe down below, and if you need any photos, give me a call right over here. Have a great day, and I appreciate you for stopping by and listening to the Nikon rumors. And Nikon users are gonna be amazed by the big splash that Nikon's gonna be dropping these cameras that are competing with the new full frame Sony cameras. So finally we are here. I always wanted to shoot Sony, but at this point it looks like Nikon's gonna get a lot of good cameras in the future. It's just gonna be amazing, and there's no need to switch over to everything, all my camera gear over to Sony, so I can switch what brand I'm shooting with, when Nikon is going to be releasing a lot more in the future. Yeah, good job Nikon, and let's hope we get them by the end of the year, and hopefully it's at an affordable price, especially for the Z6 III. Have a good one.